Hi everyone and welcome back. I'm still Richard Lewis, still your host for the Gfinity StarCraft Spring Masters. He's still the Muslim, but we've got somebody else join us now as well. It's just like a who's who of StarCraft in here. We have got Kaldor. So how have you been?
We casted the first series. It was really fun, so it was really good games, and I just saw the series with Bunny. It's of course great that he was able to win here, especially since the last Gfinity didn't go as well for him. Back in 2014, he was actually winning the whole thing against Jan back then in the finals, which was amazing. Yeah. So maybe we're going to see him go really far in the tournament again. Love it.
Okay, well, what we're going to do is we're going to quickly just bring up the Group C bracket, I'm told, just to have a quick look at how things stand. So there you go. This is what it's all about. This is the game that we're going to be bringing you in the top there. It's going to be BlinG versus SOS. But what about that other matchup just quickly? Because, you know, I'll be honest, I don't really know a lot about either of those players.
Well, Uthermal, he's probably third best in Netherlands right now. Like, you've got Rhett, who just came back seemingly and just stomped his way back into WCS Premier. And you've got Harston doing very well. But Uthermal, definitely a competent Terran player and very much known for his micro. But Saxfree, he's a guy that spent quite a bit of time in Europe for My Insanity. Yeah. And he was an absolute monster on the ladder. Like, nobody could touch him. So Uthermal's definitely got his work cut out with him.
But we're going to come to that in a second. Now, this is what we've been joking about it, analysing this game. It's the game that everybody wants to talk about because obviously it is the hometown hero. We have got BlinG from the UK here. He's well liked in StarCraft circles. We all love him. But he's certainly not known for his tournament results, if we're being just brutally honest.
Well, it's been a while, you know. Like, there was a BlinG quite some time ago where he'd go to a tournament. Like, I remember it was a specific WCG, and I remember at the time, like, humble brag coming in, I beat ST that weekend.
Like, he's amazing with it, isn't he? Like,
yeah, he's never come about it.
It has to come out, like, I beat ST, but the thing is, like, freaking BlinG that weekend, like, out of nowhere, just goes to a tournament, like, 6-0s his group, and then beats Polt at WCG, like, totally overshadowed me, and I was like, man, like, freaking BlinG, like, but yeah, very, very good player when he wants to be, and it has been a while, but he's had internet problems for quite a long time, and he's just recently started practicing, and he told me that he recently hit rank 1 on the ladder, like Grandmaster ladder, and by quite a clear margin too, so, you know, you can't take him lightly. Like, this is a guy that's been a competitor for years. Like, before StarCraft, there was Halo. Before Halo, there was football. You know, this is a competitor through and through.
Yeah, absolutely. And you can see him there getting warmed up with SOS. But let's just talk about this, because obviously it's a PvP matchup. I guess you were joking, Glenn. I'm going to give you some epic analysis
here.
Yeah,
you needed a PvP expert, so you're at the right place.
So how do we think this is going to go?
Actually, what I like is BlinG's confidence there, because usually when I feel BlinG is someone who, when he really believes in something, he can also achieve that. And he's oftentimes, when he's out of his comfort zone, he's going to tell you. I mean, the one example was really with the casting, going from analysis desk to casting desk, where he immediately said, like, doesn't really like it too much. So if he really believes in his abilities to do something, I feel like he got a serious chance there. And if he says that he has a shot taking down SOS, if you look at that on paper, you would of course immediately say, like, there's no way that he's even going to become close to winning a map just from a paper perspective. But if he feels like he has a shot, then there's a reason for that. And he knew about this matchup for a long time, so maybe he has something prepared.
Maybe he's prepared, yeah. Is there anything in a mirror matchup that's going to perhaps play to an underdog's strengths?
Okay, so there's a lot of SOS2 study recently.
Right.
And BlinG, he's playing a rather unorthodox style, and to be fair to him, like, he's been off the radar for quite some time. Like, where can you realistically find a VOD of BlinG? It's going to be like 6 months ago, realistically.
CCTV from a nearby nightclub.
Yeah, exactly. Like, BlinG rocking it out, you know. But yeah, when it comes to StarCraft, no, there's no footage of him anywhere. So yeah, we're going to be seeing some cheeky stuff from BlinG, and he was telling me a little bit about what he's doing, and yeah, it might catch SOS off guard, because SOS training career, and especially with his teammates, they're going to be doing the most optimal thing that they think that they can possibly do. So if BlinG kind of comes into it and throws a bit of a curveball, could make SOS be like, whoa, what's going on here?
Right, well, look, guys, we'll be talking about it a little bit more, but we are ready to go to the game. This is the one we've all been waiting for. It is going to be BlinG versus SOS, so take it away, casters.
It's definitely the one that we have been waiting for as well. Sam, a Protoss player that's very near and dear to our heart, going up against SOS, the world champion of 2013. on paper, this is not possible, but in a weird way, I really feel that it is possible. And that's not just like me being a Protoss fanboy of BlinG for that matter, but you know, PvP is a matchup, like I said before, Kev. I think there's only so good you can possibly be at it. And if you reach a certain level, then if you just like outsmart your opponent, anything is possible.
Anything is possible, man. SOS must be thinking, what kind of clown am I playing? He sees like the silver border around BlinG's name. Never got out of silver either in the loading screen. Like, wow, playing a foreigner first round is going to be great. So let's take a look at the vetoes right now. SOS vetoed Cactus Valley and Inferno Pools, the 4-player maps. If you're the better player, that's normally the kind of map you would veto. But then we see BlinG also vetoing a 4-player map, showing that he's very confident. And Vani Research Station, which is also a rather random map because of the in-base natural. So actually BlinG is going for the straight-up game, Rotti.
Yeah, for the people who wonder, like, well, what's so random about Cactus Valley and Inferno Pools? It's that in PvP, if you both decide to play Phoenix, for instance, then, you know, the guy who plays for the greedy is targeting at a massive advantage without doing anything right other than having a greedier build. And then some people keep their Phoenixes at home and they will intercept your scouting Phoenix because you're going to be that Protoss is like, well, I want to make sure I don't die to DT, so let's see what's happening on the other side of the map. And then you send one Phoenix across the map, the other guy is 2 Phoenix, and you're just like, oh, damn it, I hate this matchup, you know. So if you keep the map smaller, there are more legit straight-up ways to play, and you can decide to go for, let's say, a 1-gate Twilight opening with 2 more gates and a Robo, and there is no build that's going to hard counter you. Obviously, there is a build that will have a small advantage against it, but there are no build order losses.
Exactly, and BlinG is actually not messing around. 13 scout in base, going to scout for all the proxies.
Yeah, I guess we should start with the first things first. And that is, of course, that BlinG is our Red Protoss player, spawning on the right top side of the map, representing Dignitas. Currently ranked 1 Grandmaster League in Europe. And over here on the left bottom side of the map, we have our Blue Protoss, the world champion of 2013. It is SOS.
And SOS is going to go for the simulator scout. BlinG went for the scout straight after the game. He's scouting for all the proxies. He's playing this safe for sure. He does not want to be caught off guard by any of those SOS shenanigans.
He's like, I'm probably the better player in this best of 3, so as long as he doesn't cheese me, I think I'm going to be good over here. So BlinG just not cutting any corners, going for a 13 scout. What a legend.
What a confidence this man has. Thinking myself, nice, no proxy games, I got this, boys. He's going to... I'm very curious what he's going to do now. We see a lot of gas being mined for both players, so could be Stargate for either one.
I must say, all jokes aside, I do like it, because how many times haven't we seen, you know, a foreigner being rather confident going into a series, and then, you know, the very first game, you know, one of the Korean Protoss just sends the first probe across the map, builds 2 gateways, and they win, and it just like kills all the hype immediately. Now, you know, no matter what happens, for the next few minutes, the dream is alive.
The dream definitely is alive, and BlinG is doing what the...
Oh, okay, he has to find that. That's a really cute move by SOS, pretending that he's sending the probe scout home, but actually keeping it in the corner of your base. And that's probably going to give him a free, you know, a free vision on this Twilight console. And when that happens, if you're BlinG and you give away the fact that you're going for a Twilight that quickly, it's just kind of one of those, oh, damn it moments, you know, because you know it's not necessary.
Yeah, it definitely shouldn't have happened. The pylon there at the rocks would have prevented this. The Stalker just checking around the base would have prevented this. And we see BlinG doing something that in Europe we like to call the Verdi, which is skipping the mothership core, something that the Russian Protoss Verdi is very well known for. Then going into an earlier attack, going into earlier gates, a more aggressive build most of the time. And SOS is going to see everything. He sees that BlinG is being chronobles, he sees that there's 2 Stalkers, and he sees that there's no mothership core. Of course, his mothership core could also be scouting across the map, so he has to be careful. We see SOS moving back a bit in anticipation of this mothership core scout that is never going to arrive.
No, it is kind of nerve-wracking right now, because the potential scenario that's very likely to unfold is that BlinG is going to go out on the map with a couple of his BlinG Stalkers and has absolutely nothing at home against this Oracle that could arrive. Now, of course, in PvP, if you don't know yet what your opponent is doing on the other side of the map, you always have to worry about that Oracle. So it's very important for BlinG that he keeps his units at home at first. These 2 Stalkers, that's awesome for SOS, because these Stalkers give BlinG the ID. He's probably playing against the Twilight as well. I don't think that BlinG is necessarily thinking about an Oracle right now, but you have to worry about it.
Yeah, definitely. He keeps the 3 Stalkers at home. I'm very happy about that. Let's see when he will spot it. The Stalkers aren't necessarily in the best position. Oh, 4 Stalker being warped in, now they are. So Good moves here by BlinG. Might lose one probe. No, not even.
He will lose
Okay,
one.
loses one probe, but that's a very good trade for BlinG. And I'm liking his position in this game so far. Probe count equal. There's a scouting probe on the map as well for BlinG. Checking the watchtower. Might use it to do
BlinG,
something.
It's not ready yet. Imagine if it would have been ready. Like, if BlinG can catch his Oracle, that would be absolutely massive for him. He should be able to get it right now. That is so good, because now he doesn't have to worry about it. He can actually send all of his units to the other side of the map. I would love to see BlinG expand and contain.
Yeah.
I think that is the absolute best thing that he could do right here.
Definitely, and another thing that we should think about is that SOS right now needs detection, because he doesn't know if there's BlinG or not. He can choose to not play safe, but do you really want to not play safe against someone that you consider worse than you? I guess SOS doesn't really care, because he's not getting a Robo and he's not getting a second Oracle. So I guess he's saying, well, BlinG, I think you're going to do something aggressive, and he reads him well.
BlinG should just really drop his own Nexus, I think, as quick as possible. He almost has 400 minerals. That's exactly what he's going to do. Just one sentry and then like get a Zealot. He has to be careful over here, because SOS will have BlinG as well in the near future. But BlinG is already starting his Immortal. Oh, he started his Immortal before the Nexus. Okay.
I'm not a big fan of that. I would have preferred to see the Nexus first, but still in a good position for sure. There's no tech at all for SOS except for this BlinG. So I would still give BlinG the edge in this game, even though he's down 2 works isn't that big.
No, especially not now when you're on one base. You know, like 18 is pretty much the max. Where you know, after that it doesn't really matter anymore. Yeah. You don't want to have more than 18 probes on those mineral patches. We have a challenger update, by the way, and that is that Uthermal has lost his first series 0-2 against Saxcree. It's unfortunate for us.
Yeah.
As, the Dutch connection is failing a little bit over here.
I think SOS might be a little bit too far out on the map with an Expo already. If BlinG decides to push right now, and
is he actually gonna push on one base with Immortals?
It could work with the back rocks. There's only one overcharge on this map you can use with the Mothership Core.
That Observer has vision of that army. BlinG knows what's going on. This is like this is a huge commitment, of course, for BlinG to do this. You know, because he's putting all of his eggs in one basket, makes the forward BlinG. Does he get a second Stalker there?
Yeah, he got a second Stalker.
Wow.
So 2 Stalkers down already. He's up 10 in supply right now.
You shouldn't do this though, because
maybe he gets SOS to target them. I think the BlinG forward was a bit too much. So he will get this Stalker for sure though, right? BlinG forward, BlinG. Yeah, here we go. So good position actually here for BlinG. 2 sentries coming in. Will BlinG be able to do this? The Immortal isn't there to support. He needs to go back a little bit. Needs to wait for his Immortal. BlinG back, BlinG.
lost a few more Stalkers there than I think he should have. But army supply, that's a massive advantage. 37 against 26. What do you do right now if you're SOS? I mean, these units are here. You can't force field them out anymore. Where's the Immortal number 2? Is it coming? Yes, it is coming. It's over there. BlinG might actually be able to do this. Like, this is as insane as it is. There's just not that much DPS in his army of SOS. Another forward blink for BlinG as he's just ignoring the potent overcharge, storming into the main base. One Immortal will pop, but it's exposed. The Stalkers from BlinG might be able to get it immediately. Regardless, a lot of damage dealt over here.
Yeah, no more Immortals here for SOS. 3 Stalkers left. GG! BlinG wins game number 1 against SOS. And our English Protoss player does it. And look, he doesn't even care. He expected this.
Yes.
13 Scout Boys into some safe BlinG play did it.
As long as nothing crazy happens in this series, I've got this. BlinG is up 1-0 over SOS. We're talking about the world champion in StarCraft 2 of 2013. One of the most successful players of all time, as SOS has won $200,000 first place tournaments in his career already. Now he came to the Gfinity. He goes up against BlinG. Probably has never seen BlinG before. He looked at him. He's like, "Wow, that's you know, that is one hell of a character." He probably thought. And on game number 1, BlinG just showed him what he's made of. What a bizarre decision, Kev. Like, all jokes aside, we thought he should have expanded and contained. BlinG instead went for double Immortal and an attack. Something that shouldn't really work, because normally you can say, like, well, as long as the other guy force fields properly, then he's going to be in a good position. But you mentioned it as well, SOS's tag was very late, so he had very limited information.
Yeah, limited information. A little bit too many probes as well, I would say. So the army supply for BlinG was just so much bigger, and it really showed 2 Immortals doing a lot of work against a pure BlinG Stalker army. Just a great play by BlinG.
Yeah, and it was really bizarre as well, because first it looked like he was overcommitting with his first Stalkers before the Immortals were there, but that was actually a great move. Because of that, he pushed the battle back even further, and the Sentries already used their energy, so they had no more force fields to actually keep those Immortals away. And the Stalkers, even though he lost 1 or 2, he was able to save most of them. So it was a really brilliant decision by BlinG. As our second map, I believe, is going to be played on Coda. I would also say one of the less random maps in the current map pool. So on paper, very good for BlinG.
On paper, definitely BlinG would be the big favorite on this map for sure. Echo also not a very random map, no real good proxy locations, but we'll get into that if that map is even necessary in this series.
I mean, once again, I have said this before, but all jokes aside, like, I think SOS is gonna step it up right now. You know, game number 1, nobody ever joins a game where they take it easy. There's no such thing as taking it easy, but there is the thing as overconfidence, and there's a good chance that SOS was just playing that game and just kind of expected things to be smooth sailing from here. And now he's probably shaken up a little bit. It's like, okay, this is actually serious, you know, like, I gotta try. I don't want to go to the losers match. Like, the last thing you want to do is play the lower bracket match in Group B against a player like MC, because you know, that PvP can truly go either way, as that is as nuts as they get. So he's gonna go all out right now. It's gonna be tough for BlinG, but
Yeah, I'm really looking forward to this, and we shouldn't forget that SOS is also going to be very careful, because if he just has one slight error in his build order, or if he has one build order loss, he might just lose the game instantly. And I think we're going to hop into this game relatively soon. So yeah, let's see what's going to happen.
I can't wait. Game number 2 between BlinG and SOS going to be played on Coda. If there is going to be a third map, it will be played out on Echo. But we'll see if that is necessary, as over here he was confident. A lot of people would have never taken him serious, but I really had that strange feeling that it may have happened. Over here on the left top side of the map, he's spawning as the Red Protoss player from the UK. Representing Dignitas, it is BlinG.
Definitely the crowd favorite here at Gfinity, his hometown.
I think BlinG would be the crowd favorite everywhere he goes. Like, we can have a tournament in Malaysia tomorrow and BlinG will be the crowd favorite. I'm convinced by that.
Yeah, definitely. So nothing crazy going on here, just build opening with a 9 pylon in their own base. Curious if BlinG is going to go for another 13 scout, or if he is like, well, you're probably not going to risk doing a 2-gate build or a very risky aggressive build against me. I might just not scout and get a little bit of an eco lead, something he could do. But of course, we don't know what BlinG's mindset is for this particular PvP. Very curious to see. I think SOS is just going to play a safe BlinG robo, to be honest. I would be very surprised to see something else.
This is a good BlinG Stalker map as well, out of the most recent maps being added. Like, Echo is not bad for BlinG Stalkers either, but you have a lot of surface area here near the main base to hop into the main base with BlinG Stalkers, so you can put some pressure into the natural or into the main at the same time. I totally agree with you. It's a reasonable Stargate map as well, but then I'm more thinking of Phoenixes rather than Oracles. And it's bizarre to think that in the previous game, BlinG never even made a Mothership Core. It's not just that he delayed it, he never made one. But he didn't need it after he got that snipe on the Oracle, which of course was a massive mistake for SOS, because he saw, I think, the Twilight Cons already before. But I guess he just did not expect, like, who the hell has BlinG that quick?
Yeah, exactly. Well, the guy that skips the Mothership Core. Yeah, so definitely good play by BlinG. BlinG's going to do a 15 scout this game and hide a pylon. I love this play. It's going to trick SOS, make SOS be very careful. A thing though that SOS might notice is that the probe is still going to the other side of the map. So we might be thinking, why would you probe scout and proxy a pylon? That's a bit weird. But we've seen weirder things before. So very curious to see what BlinG is going to do with this. SOS is going to get a rather late second gas here. So I'm not too sure what that's all about. Normally
Could be Twilight, second gate and like slightly later Twilight. I think that's fine. BlinG could go 1-gate Twilight again. Like, I wouldn't be surprised to see him just do Twilight all over again. This is a better BlinG Stalker map than Expedition Lost. Yeah. And it went phenomenal for him in game number 1. And there are still ways that he can exploit even BlinG against BlinG if he just has much quicker Twilight tech.
Yeah, definitely. We're seeing the same opener without the Mothership Core. Second pylon going down as well.
So do you think, if you're SOS right now, that you're paranoid? Like, he checks the base, only sees one pylon. Do you think
sees a Stalker. Like, there's no Mothership Core, so he knows that there's a lot of gas. He counted pylons for sure. Let's see what SOS is doing. I think he's going to build a few extra Stalkers before he throws down any tech.
I think he might fly out that Mothership Core a little bit to scout for a Stargate that isn't actually there.
Yeah.
Oh, BlinG is going Stargate, by the way. He's just doing it at home. That's interesting. Then I don't really understand why you're hiding your second pylon, because I feel that you're giving your opponent the idea that you want to play Stargate.
Yeah, I'm not sure about this either, but never doubt a genius, Robin. Seen it once, might see it another time. Actually, this situation isn't all too bad. 2 Stalkers before any kind of tech for SOS. Third gate actually, and I think if I could pick any build against the 3 gate, I would like to play Oracle into 3 gate. And we're about to see what BlinG is going to follow up with. There's a second gate. If there's a third gate coming, I think this is going to be a great situation for BlinG.
It should, unless he wants to save up for a robotics facility, but I don't think he's going to do that. So he should add probably one more gateway. But I don't think it's all that easy though, right? Like you need to buy time, you need to delay using your photon overcharge for as long as possible. It's not a build order win.
It's far from easy, but I think it's one of the, together with DTs, it's one of the build orders that you would like against the 3 gate. There's no
He needs a pylon badly. I think he's building a pylon on the right side of the map.
But his mothership core is so late. I forgot about that.
From BlinG?
Yeah, because
it's not that late. He's gonna have
okay.
but he's forced to use photon overcharge like almost immediately. That was bad by SOS. Rather sloppy to have that cannon inside of mineral line. This Oracle on the other side of the map should, I mean, SOS should realize right now something is going on over here, right? Like otherwise he should have more units. I should not just be able to walk into this main base. So SOS has to be aware that there is an Oracle coming, and he knows it. He cancelled the tech building. Has 3 Stalkers. That's the magic number you want to have.
No, don't lose your Oracle. BlinG. Big mistake. Now those 3 Stalkers will be able to join SOS on the other side of the map. 2 Stalkers being warped in for BlinG at home. Third gateway being warped.
But late though, it's very late.
If the Oracle was still alive, this would have been a way better situation for BlinG with the Void Ray out as well. I think he would have been able to hold and be in a very good position, but right now it's going to be so difficult. Photon over, or the Void Ray charge is being activated. Keep the Void Ray alive. Decent micro by BlinG. Is it going to be enough though?
He's running a lot there in the second part of that fight. Some of these Stalkers were not actually fighting. He's pulling the probes in a moment where he truly had to. He could decide to warp in a sentry. BlinG, there's that pylon on the high ground as well. I'm afraid that this just went from bad to worse. And SOS strikes back decisively in game number 2. After making a good read. Even though the read on that Oracle was late, it was perfect in the end. Because there's a world of difference between having 3 Stalkers ready or warping in 2 or 3 Stalkers and then dealing with the Oracle. Because that would have meant that SOS was going to lose, instead of 2 probes, he would have lost 6, 7, 8 probes. And then maybe he doesn't even kill the Oracle. But excellent read right there by SOS. Without seeing it, he kind of knew it. And that was a great response.
Yeah, definitely. We should not forget that SOS played kind of blind this game as well. He didn't have detection. It could have been DTs as well.
Yeah,
it would have been the same. Like, it was either DT or Oracle. He gambled correct.
But I think he had a robotics facility on the way, and I think he cancelled that the moment he saw that Oracle fly over something in the middle of the map. Because I saw him cancel a building, and I think it was a robotics facility, and then he had the resources to warp in those Stalkers. But you're right. I mean, SOS is definitely playing with fire, but I mean, going up against BlinG, I take a risk or two as well.
Yeah, definitely need to. So it looks like our final map is going to be Echo, and 2-player map once again.
It is a shame though as well, because I think if BlinG there in the end, when like photon overcharges ran out and he had that one Void Ray, if he has one more Zealot in the mix, or he has the probes before that fight starts, like then I don't think if you're SOS you can click on that Void Ray immediately. Like it was a cool idea to try to save it, but then he brought it back and SOS just separated 1 or 2 Stalkers from the pack that got that golden hit off that actually killed the Void Ray, and that changes everything, because the Void Ray probably represented like 40% of the DPS of BlinG's army in that phase in the game.
Yeah, I think if he does that and he doesn't lose the Oracle on the other side of the map, he's going to be in a definitely a good spot, because he has the harassment potential of an Oracle still alive.
Forces SOS to keep those units at home. Like SOS can't send those 3 Stalkers across the map. Changes everything.
Yeah, it changed everything. But sadly for BlinG that did not happen. Of course, you should not get biased now.
No, that would be a tragedy. Esports would literally die.
Literally die.
All right, we are about to get ready to hop into game number 3 between BlinG and SOS. The winner of this series will move on to play against Bunny. That will be played tomorrow, as of course today we're just doing the opening matches of each group. And after that, the loser of this series will go ahead and play against MC, that is waiting. Final map is going to be played on Echo. It's one of the most popular maps of the recently Renewed map pool. I think it's a very good map pool that we currently have. We often whine about the maps that we're playing on, but I think big shout out to Blizzard for the map pool that we're currently playing on. Inferno Pools is still not everybody's favorite map, but that's okay. Echo is a very good map. Coda is a very good map. I would even say that Cactus Valley has already provided us with very good games. I'm not going to necessarily say that I think it's a very good map, but it does provide very good and entertaining games. But I think Echo and Coda are truly like the new Overgrowth, just a map that everybody likes. Most of the time, the better player wins. Not too many crazy things can happen, but there is still plenty of way that you can outplay your opponent.
Yeah, I think even a map like Vani is very well accepted right now. It's a good map, a very standard map, and they look nice. I know it's a very...
the tile set matters, eh?
Yeah, the tile set does matter.
The moment you spawn in Echo, you're like, this is a beautiful map. I'd love to play a game of StarCraft 2 on this map.
Yeah, I don't like Inferno Pools much. Very dark, very reddish.
Yep.
And,
terrible things are about to happen to the race. It's like, I can never wall off my natural. That's why there is lava pouring down left and right. No, this is a very happy map. The moment you spawn on Echo, you got a very joyful 10 minutes ahead of you.
Yeah, 10 minutes, you're very ambitious.
But that's when you get 2 bases saturated, Cav. That's when we go for it. As you guys can see, we are ready to continue this series, to wrap up our third series of the day already. Between SOS and BlinG. Of course, SOS, our blue Protoss, spawning on the left top side of the map, representing Jin Green Wings. Going up against the local hero himself, spawning as the red Protoss player, representing Team Dignitas. It is BlinG.
And SOS, what is this? A 9 scout. We haven't seen this in a long time, Rotti.
No, this is actually... I'm trying to make sense of this, but I don't.
Cannon rush?
Yes. I actually think that's the only thing that would sort of make sense.
But you would send it a bit later, at 12, I believe. I haven't seen... we're just gonna have to wait and see what he's gonna do with this.
Because a long time ago, when I was still relatively new to StarCraft, I sent a replay to Todd. And I was like, hey Todd, can you take a look at this replay of me? But I nice scouted. And after 30 seconds, Todd came back to me.
Double!
Oh, double gas steal! Oh, okay. Well, that's one hell of a move for SOS. So the best thing for BlinG to do right now...
that's not this.
No,
this is not the best move.
Assimilators get so much HP. This is actually something that the Zerg players are whining about. Well, is it that bad though, Kev?
Yeah, I don't like this.
But imagine if SOS is able to renew that assimilator and he gets it again. That would be game ending.
That would be game over,
yeah.
actually.
BlinG really has to take good care of this to make sure that SOS can take that assimilator again, which I don't think is going to happen, but... Okay, good.
I was gonna...
What? Is that SOS is spine in this?
Yeah. This isn't good.
Wait, he trapped the probe!
Yeah, this isn't good. Not worth it.
For SOS?
Yeah, definitely not worth it.
What is SOS doing over here? Is he under the influence or something? He's playing really bizarre.
This is some next level strategies. I remember that we've seen I think it's called a manor pylon. Even it doesn't really cost you too much, and normally if you trap two probes, it's about equal. Yeah. So it's a manor pylon. You show your dominance by putting it down.
Meanwhile, he's just stealing gas and minerals over and over again. He's like, got 5 gas, traded it for minerals, resources that are lost forever. What a bizarre opening over here for... do you think that he hoped... I actually don't know what he hoped for. I haven't seen this response from BlinG a whole lot. I'm a little bit flabbergasted over here by what I'm seeing, because I watch a crazy amount of PvP and I play a whole lot of PvP, but this is a scenario that I'm quite unfamiliar with.
I actually kind of like this position for BlinG now that the pylon is gonna fall. He's had 2 workers still. As long as he doesn't get supply blocked, I feel like the only real option he has though is going into an expansion. For some reason, SOS is only staying on 1 gas as well, so he's not really getting too much out of the gas steal.
I think that's because SOS is very worried about the 4-gate, because often the response to gas stealing is that the AR player is just like, alright, I'm gonna take 1 gas and I'll just 3 or 4-gate you,
Yeah.
So I think SOS wants to make sure he doesn't die to that. Instead, he's gonna be the one that 4-gates, because maybe BlinG doesn't have energy, or excuse me, gas for sentries? Is that what's happening over here, Kev?
I'm very confused. I haven't seen a 4-gate in a very long time. And BlinG is going up to 3 gates himself, so I feel
So that's perfect. That's absolutely a defensive 3-gate against an offensive 4-gate. This is a dream scenario for BlinG. And BlinG has a scout, right? What is that scout on the left top side of the map?
Yeah, it's getting in.
Oh, if this probe can see everything, you're the chosen one. Go to the left side. He sees 2 gates. Sees... Did he see gate number 4?
I don't think he saw it. But he saw the gates that were very quick, so he knows that something else. He's getting a robo. Who gets a robo? He's the pilot.
And the probe. This is phenomenal for BlinG. Absolutely phenomenal. This is also the only pylon that's very close. There is one more pylon in the middle of the map, but that means that those stalkers are very far away. BlinG has to be careful. This is not your moment to be aggressive. He has to be careful that SOS doesn't lure him out. These 3 stalkers are coming from the left side. BlinG, you have to go back immediately. Is he gonna get a sentry right now? Oh, he doesn't have warp gate yet.
He gets a Nexus.
Yeah, because he thought. I guess he thought he stopped aggressing.
No, BlinG.
Just let it there as a magnet, I guess.
Yeah.
He has double pylon, at least powering these gateways. He can pull probes. Sentry, Zealot, probe. What do you do now, Kev? Stalkers?
Yeah, just stalkers, pull the probes. Or I guess 2 stalkers, 1 sentry would have been the best. Pull the probes, force them down the ramp, and then force field them in, kind of. Force field them out.
Okay, he's gonna get this round.
So this is very good for BlinG, I feel like.
He misclicked on his own gateway. Actually, 2 of his stalkers shot on his own gateway. That Zealot is doing some serious work as well.
Cancel the Nexus! You need a new warp in BlinG.
Yeah, okay, he definitely needs to cancel it right now. He doesn't have any, he cancelled it. So he has money for one more, but those Zealots of SOS are doing some real serious work though.
Yeah, but how many stalkers is there for SOS left?
It's over. I think SOS is going to be able to make this work after all. What a hectic, crazy, ridiculous PvP Game 3 on Echo. But in the end, the world champion of 2013, the winner of IM Katowice 2014, is able to come out victorious in this Madness PvP series.
Wow, quite a series, and a lot closer than a lot of people might have expected. Here we see BlinG with the coach. Is that the coach?
I don't know.
Might be.
We just call him the coach if you want.
Yeah, it's the coach from now on.
Alright.
So sadly the coach and BlinG did not make it happen, but it was very close. If he would have seen the 4th gate, I feel like he wouldn't have built the Nexus, and it would have been a bit of a different game. A little bit unlucky there for BlinG.
That was an inch, truly.
Yeah,
like it was so incredibly close to scouting that 4th gas. Or maybe even if that stalker is like slightly out of position and you even see that SOS is only on 1 gas, then it's like absolute jackpot. Then BlinG knows 100% what he is supposed to do. Then he can keep his units on top of the ramp, which means he would get the first volley down the ramp to those units that will try to go up the ramp. And there's a good chance we're looking at a completely different game. Even when he dropped the Nexus, I don't think it had to be over yet. It's just like he panicked. I think you could throw it. I mean, I can't blame him. I think I would have just lost my mind going on. Like, I'm playing against one of the absolute best Protoss players in the world, SOS, and he's double gas stealing into 4-gating me. Like, is this for real? Like, is this guy like truly SOS? So I can't blame BlinG for panicking a little bit there. But you saw him even shoot at his own gateway, and that is like in PvP, every single shot of a stalker counts. And like shooting at your gateway with 3 or 4 stalkers, that's deadly already.
Can be game over, and even without that, I think it would have been a very difficult situation, but maybe a little bit easier. Yeah, it's a sad story for BlinG.
Also, definitely want to give credit where credit is due. That the right moment when he felt like he had the right amount of stalkers, and SOS realized that the stalkers were trapped, he's like, all right, only Zealots from now on, because I'm gonna fight these probes, so I better just kill as many as I possibly can. And he had the perfect mixture between the right amount of stalkers to chase the stalkers of BlinG and have the right amount of Zealots to take care of everything else. Very well done, of course, by SOS. That is why he's one of the best Protoss players in the world. But still, I think a very cool series, and I'm very curious to see what the guys in the analysis room have to say about that one.
He managed to get through it without laughing. But I tell you, it was actually a great series. And of course, BlinG got off to a great start. We were all sat thinking it was going to happen, the dream.
The dream was alive for 1 game, and he played really well. And it would have been too good. It would have been too good to be true.
I mean, disappointed for your boy, or?
You know, after him being 1-0 up, and he did it in a pretty convincing fashion, you know, it wasn't as if like SOS messed up or anything. BlinG just played really good, and there was the choice there where he could have made a Nexus and played out the macro game and possibly been like a little bit ahead, you know, he would have been ahead. But he just went for the kill. He was very decisive and did it. Unfortunately in the series, like especially that last map with the double gas steal, like you barely ever see that. So you know, that was unfortunate for him, and I don't think he expected that whatsoever. And SOS, he is a rather unpredictable foe, and out of all the things that BlinG studied, I don't think he once thought that was going to happen to him, so unfortunate for him.
We've actually got some replays from the series. So I think the first replay is it's the last 40 seconds or so of the 2nd game. As you can see, this is just some micro from SOS while he kind of methodically picks apart BlinG to tie up the series. So again, this is all one big fireworks display to me. Talk us through what's going on, guys.
So he's like SOS is staying out of range of the Planetary Nexus. As soon as it's down, bam, he runs in. He focuses the Void Ray here. He uses just enough Stalkers to keep focusing in range there. So there, picks off the Void Ray, and then it's just a game of, hey, I'm just going to keep microing back. I'm going to keep shooting. I'm going to use my Zealot to tank damage here. And it was just very well played. And then the other 3 Stalkers that he used to defend the Oracle come into play too. And it's just a game of numbers at this point. And yeah, BlinG has to tap out.
Yeah, and you said, what unit was it you were saying with the bane of your life there?
Mothership.
Yeah,
but for a long time already. Like.
Well, not that I want to put you on the spot, but we got another replay as well of SOS closing out the series in the deciding game, which we'll bring up now, and I'll get you to talk us through what's going on. So.
No victory replay of BlinG's map.
Yeah, exactly. We get
the homegrown hero here.
The homegrown hero. It's like, thanks for playing, mate. Basically, that's what we got like.
It's like. BlinG, really well played, but we're going to show the 2 maps that you didn't win.
All right. There's obviously a Korean bias going on in the production room. I'll tell them off later on, but I mean, don't get me wrong. There was great moments, but ultimately,
I
SOS
think they
is
should
still one of
switch
the
that,
best
right?
players in the world.
Yeah.
Like if our vote counts, they should switch that now. We are happy to talk a bit and give them the time to do it, but like. We need the hero here to have his moment.
I'm sure he'll come in, don't you worry about that. But anyway, we've got that replay ready for you now. Caldo, talk us through what's going on here. So this was to close out the series.
Yeah, I mean, at this point, we already had what Muslin said earlier with the double DR still. BlinG was just falling really behind here. And you can see the army supply alone. He has so many Stalkers right in BlinG's face. BlinG is forced to pull all of his probes off. And yeah, this is just a micro effort from SOS at this point. He has just way too much there. BlinG is, of course, trying to get his own Stalkers in, but the reinforcements streaming, and he just like can't get the units in fast enough. With the gateways that he has, the production just doesn't keep up. Doesn't get the chance to really get an Immortal out or anything with that Robo. And at that point, it's just like SOS closing out the deal.
I'm actually pretty bummed we don't get to see BlinG win again. Like, that was quite a moment.
What we'll do is we'll make a BlinG montage. Or something.
BlinG montage?
A BlinG-tage for the end of the tournament. BlinG's best moments. But look, let's just see what that win does to the bracket. We'll bring that up now. And you guys can see.
You are aware that we're not going to forget that, right?
No. Well, hey, look, I'll do what I can. Right? I'm only the host, guys. I know I look like the puppet master, but I am but one of the puppets. Anyway, you can see that obviously BlinG will be bouncing down into the lower bracket, and he'll be up against Euthermal. We'll talk about that in a second. So, and that's a winnable game for him, right? BlinG's still not out of it.
No, BlinG still has a chance.
Yeah.
Euthermal has had a lot of TVP practice, though, to be fair to him. Like, he's a name that's relatively new to the scene.
Yeah.
Like, he always kind of stayed on the outskirts, but just recently started doing much better. I believe he played a best of 5 against Lilbo for WCS recently. He did lose, but that's against a player like Lilbo. But that gives him a lot of TVP practice, and he's going to be feeling pretty solid about going up against BlinG. But after seeing that BlinG took a map off SOS, that can put fear in the soul of any man, to be honest.
Yeah, that's going to be something to be playing on your mind when you go into that series.
What I really liked, by the way, when we had the camera shots after game number 1, first of all, like BlinG not reacting at all, just being like, another day in the office. And then you see SOS, and he's like, what just happened?
It was hilarious because we talked in the last game with Bunny and MC how the Korean and the foreigner had kind of switched roles, and it happened there in the reactions. BlinG was reacting like a Korean. This is just I win, and SOS was like, hang on a minute.
Can you imagine what's going through SOS's mind though? Like, he's playing against this guy that just kind of rolled in. Oh, I'm sorry, but just rolled in with like tattooed sleeves all over his arms, and it's just like, this guy's microing and owning me. Like, I can't even imagine what was going through his head at that time. Like, absolutely insane.
I'm sure it was filled with expletives, Ben.
Yeah, I mean, like, I really can't imagine. And like the expression on his face, like it showed.
But yeah, I mean. Great series, he's still in it, but SOS, look, we're talking about BlinG quite a lot here. Let's give some props to a worthy winner in the end. I mean, SOS, you highlighted him right at the top of the show, Ben, saying this is a guy who can win this whole tournament. Yeah,
you put SOS in any tournament, especially with like a massive prize pool, this guy has no fear. Like, we've seen him go up against CJ Hero in I think it was Katowice quite a while ago, but it was winner takes all, 100 grand or nothing. And he, in 2 games in a row to start off the series, hides 2 gateways in his opponent's base to start off the series, and then he ended up taking like a 4-0 victory. Like, this guy, he's a monster. He's a real dreamer when he plays, and he doesn't just play Protoss. he plays his opponent into thinking he's doing something that he has no intention of ever doing. Like, he's a true puppet master. He really is.
You like that term?
I do.
You're gonna
I
see
saw
it.
it. I saw you use it. I was like, yeah.
Well done. Going full circle there.
Yeah.
What about your thoughts finally with SOS?
I agree with him here. I mean, SOS has been around for like ages on that top level. Games that he played against Jadong were absolutely legendary. Which season was it? I think it was season...
Of BlizzCon?
Yeah.
Oh, I mean,
It was last year, right?
I mean, like,
That
he
was-
decimated Jadong in the final.
Those were like amazing games. So ever since then, like, he's been playing on a completely different level. And I can definitely see him going to the final here.
Well, we've had some great games already. There's going to be one left from us this evening, so you can have a look at the schedule and see what we've got in there. And of course, it's going to be Solar versus Hydra. Now, Harston won't stop talking about Hydra. It's quite frightening, actually. I think he has a bit of a thing for him.
He did live with him for a little bit in America.
Well, now it's all coming out.
You don't know what went on.
He came in today and was just Hail Hydra the entire time. So that's going to be our final game. Obviously, if you want to watch the other game, you are going to be able to do that with our partners through Base Trade TV. But I certainly would want to watch this one. So just some quick thoughts before we go to a break. Very interested to get your thoughts, Caldo.
Hydra played really well last time that he was here, and I certainly think he has a bit of an upper hand. But Solo is just he's just a really solid player in general. And I still remember when he was just like starting up and he was playing and farming like all these online tournaments the entire time. One of those Koreans like Hyun that was just like playing everything with delay on the European server, not caring. And back to that time, from that point on, was always ZVZ. For all of these Korean Zerg players, it was always ZVZ, like all day long. They played that matchup like in 5 matches during every tournament. So I feel like Solar is really strong, but Hydra just showed us last time how good he is in this environment. Yeah. I would give Hydra the upper hand here too, but Solar, I don't know, you should never underestimate Solar. He's very, very cool.
And you said the same thing, not to underestimate Solar. You said this is a guy, capable of winning tournaments. He's beaten names that he wasn't expected to beat in the past. Yeah. Can he do it again here?
This match could really go either way. The weird thing about this is Hydra's a guy that moved away from the hardest region that there is, Korea, and from being somebody that you knew was pretty good, he then went to America, and he's just shown time and time again that he's actually one of the best players in the world, kind of thing. Yeah. And that's phenomenal to see, because he went to the weakest region, and he plays absolutely everywhere, training against everybody, and possibly weaker opponents, but seemingly keeps on getting better, and the ball hasn't stopped rolling yet for him. So going up against Solar, and it's kind of weird to say, but Hydra is the favorite here. That being said, yeah, you cannot count Solar out. Like, this is one where I have to be on the fence here.
I actually think that Solar feels really well in an underdog position. Not saying that he is like in any way like
not a massive underdog.
Exactly, but like he was in the position of being underdog for a long time, and it's something where he feels really confident. I feel because the pressure is off a bit, and that also counts for a lot of the foreigners that we see here in the tournament. That same thing accounted also for the last series. BlinG coming in being very confident, but if he loses, everything's fine. Like, he can really just show his game here. Solar, it's a bit different. He's on a much closer level to Hydra, but in this case, I don't think that he minds playing that role.
Well, you're going to have the opportunity to cast that game, so looking forward to that as well. Thanks for joining us here in the analysis room.
Pleasure.
Obviously, you're not going anywhere. This is your bread and butter, so you sit there. Anyway, we're going to take a short break before we go to that final game, Solar versus Hydra, so don't go too far. We'll see you then.